Right, I think we are live now. Hello, everyone. I wish you a very happy new year. If you guys can hear me, okay, please. All right, I think the sound setup is okay. Uh, wish you all a very happy new year and welcome to the live Data Science Masters in USA live question and answer session. So in today's session, if any of you are planning to come to US for data science masters or computer science master, we are going to address any questions that you have related to your studies. And joining with us is Jay and Smith. Both of them did their masters here in US and that too recently. So they know a lot of things about things like, you know, fee structure, the whole H-1B process, job opportunities, things like that. And they both have a job right now. And I will let them introduce themselves. So Jay, why don't you go first?
Sure. Hi everyone. First of all, Happy New Year. Um, yeah, so I'm Jay, and I did my master's in data science. I graduated in uh, May 2020, and since then, I have been working with Viacom CBS Streaming, specifically for their streaming product Paramount Plus, as a data scientist. And yeah, it's been a crazy ride so far. So glad to be here.
Thank you, Jay, for your introduction. Smith.
Hi everyone, this is Smith. Happy New Year, everyone. So I did my undergrads in mechanical engineering when I was in India. Then I came to US. I joined Northeastern University in the master's program of engineering management. And then I developed an inclination towards data analytics, and then I shifted my master's towards data analytics. And then I graduated in December 2020. After that, I worked as a product analyst for a company called Recorded Future for about 8 to 10 months. And then I switched to becoming data analyst at Impriva. Currently, I'm working there. So uh, thank you all for having us here. Really excited about this one.
All right, cool. Okay, so I think we can start taking the questions. So we'll go from top, and Rahul Aladi is saying, is it necessary to do masters from top 20 universities? So what are your thoughts, Jay and Smith?
Yes, I can go first. And so I don't think it's like it's necessary to do like a master's from top 20 university. Obviously, it adds a value to your profile, but like in the current scenario when a lot of companies are remote and opportunities doesn't have to be in a specific place. Like obviously like some most of the top 20 universities are in like uh, industry industry heavy areas like in California, New York, or around that area. But like after everything getting remote, I don't think it's that important. Obviously you'll have to like develop your skills, do projects, do research projects, and build your profile accordingly, um, to basically compete with students from like obviously the top 20 universities as well as like all the other universities. But like with your profile you can definitely like make them look over just your university.
Cool. All right. So maybe Smith, you can maybe take a next question, which is Rahul Aladi's question. What is the ideal GRE and IELTS score?
Yeah, so right now, like due to COVID situation, there are lots of university, they are just waiving off the GRE. But ideal score would be something about above 300 plus, and for IELTS it would be 7.5. I think is an ideal, but 7 plus will also work.
7 plus will also work. All right, cool. Okay, Riju is saying, is taking loan worth it? So I will answer that question. Of course, it is worth. I think once you get a job, you will cover up all your tuition cost. Maybe in, what do you guys think? Maybe 6 months or 1 year on average, right? Six
Yeah.
months to 1 year, you can just cover it up. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I think around that period.
Okay. By the way, Smith and Jay, you guys can also take question. If you find any interesting question, you can just answer it straight away.
Mhm.
Okay, Shiva Shankar is asking when your course is getting live. So maybe month or 2 months. Yes, I am launching two exciting courses. One on Python using OCR, project-based learning, medical data extraction, and the other one is Power BI, how Power BI projects gets executed in industry. So both of these courses will be live maybe month or 2 month. Uh, I'm making a good progress on that. Okay, Pedala Yagna is asking, any idea about Sunny, Albany, IUB, FSU, Masters in DS? Do you guys know about all these universities, Jay and Smith?
I know about the IUB, which is like
Okay.
Indiana University Bloomington, which has a good program in data science. I have some friends over there, so
Okay.
it
It's
was
like
like yeah,
it's
yeah,
a good
and it was
university.
like yeah, it's a good university because like it was like one of the first, like not one, the first, but like one of the first universities to have the MS in data science program.
And to be honest, my thoughts on universities are that nowadays your work, your projects, your extra contribution, let's say on Kaggle, how well you network with people on LinkedIn, do you contribute to things like Stack Overflow or not? Those kind of things matter more than the university that you're part of. Many companies like Google, they don't require you to have a degree. So I would
Mm,
suggest go to don't just think too much about university. In my humble opinion, I mean, I would look at fees. Sometimes two universities they offer kind of similar programs, but there is a huge difference between the fees, right? So I would
Yes.
go with the universities where the fees are reasonable, something you can afford, and your teachers will teach you things, but then in the end, it is all up to you.
Yes, I totally agree. It's the same case in my university as well. I have same program offered by two different colleges. One of them has their fee structure in like 55 to 65,000, and the other college is offering the same kind of course, which is around like 25 to 35,000. So there's like a $30,000, gap between those two courses.
It's the fees is almost double, basically.
Yeah, exactly,
So
almost double.
what was your university, Smith?
So I studied from Northeastern University, Boston.
Northeastern University, Boston. Okay. All right. Margam Rohit Kumar is asking, I'm a mechanical engineer 2021 graduate. I got three old IITs for masters in my core domain, but I'm joining IIT Allahabad, MTech Data Science and Analytics. Okay, well, good. Congratulations, but I don't know what is your question. So we'll go to the next one. Nitin Singh is asking, I'm a BTech computer science final year and he's planning to come to US to do masters. Can you please guide how to proceed? So guys, can you talk about just like an overview of the process? Like what are like just step by step. If someone is in final year BTech, what should they be preparing right now?
Uh, I will take that. So it like generally you should give time around like 6 to 8 months. So if you want to start any program in say fall, which is August or September, then you should start working on applying and for your competitive exams around like December, January. Most of them have like deadlines which are like 4 months, from 4 to 6 months starting from their first day of the master's program. So just like first of all, do the research, what kind of university you want to go, then like go to their website, look for all the requirements, what they need, what kind of scores they need, what kind of, for example, SOP they need, what kind of LOR they need, and then start preparing and getting all those documents ready, start preparing for the exams. and then yeah, apply. Everything is detailed on their website. Every single timeline is also provided on their website. Meanwhile, I would also suggest to connect on LinkedIn with all the seniors, or if any people you find on LinkedIn, and then also ask questions you have. uh, so they all those people are very helpful. If you ask, they will all help you, and also connect with all those people. They will guide you very nicely because they have been through that process. So yeah, that's like really important. Yeah.
And I agree. Connecting with the people who have studied from the same university, that is probably the number one thing you should focus on, because you get the
Exactly.
most reliable guidance from there. Correct?
Yep.
Just by reading online reviews, you are not getting full picture. But when you talk to a person, he will just straight away tell you the blunt truth.
True.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense, because like sometimes the situations for international students is a little bit different, based on like
Exactly.
the entire, like compared to the entire pool of the students they have.
Exactly. For example, I don't know, like I was just thinking more along the lines of H1 and then getting green cards. Like I recently got my green card after waiting for 14 years, because I'm from India and they have per country quota. If you are from Nepal or any other country other than India and China, you will get your green card in like 2 to 3 years. So the situation and the way whole immigration process works is like quite different, based on which country you belong to. So if you are talking to someone from the same country, they will be able to give you more accurate guidance that suits to your situation well. All right. I will go to the next question. Uma is asking, any university suggestions in Germany for MS or computer science? So there is a nice YouTube channel called Bharat in Germany. Those guys are doing amazing work. They provide information on job opportunities, education in Germany. So I would say refer to that. None of us have been to Germany, so I don't think we can answer that question. Okay. KN blogs, how can I do MS in DevOps? I don't think there is a course master's specifically in DevOps. DevOps comes under software engineering discipline. So what you do is you do masters in computer science, and then you focus, maybe take more courses around DevOps, and you just focus your projects. Everything should be geared towards that career. Gautam is asking, how about robotics job in US? Do you suggest doing it in Europe or US? See, let me tell you one thing. US is still number one country when it comes to job and career opportunities. Okay, Europe is good, I understand, but US, look at all these big tech companies, right? Netflix, Google, Facebook, all these big companies have their headquarters in the US. So US is and will remain for next few years at least number one when it comes to job opportunities. So if you're looking at that angle, I would prefer US over Europe. And you're saying robotics. Do you guys have any ideas on robotics related jobs, by the way, Jan Smith?
Yes, so there should be a couple of robotics companies in the US, since we are getting like a huge push on electric vehicles and stuff like that with Tesla, Rivian, all these companies, and the core of it is obviously robotics, because everything is basically software is connected to the hardware and everything is like robotics. So I guess there's lots of opportunity in robotics in the US.
Yeah, robotics plus IoT.
All right. All Kausar is asking, is there any fully funded master scholarship in USA for Indian students? So I interviewed Kaushal Shah. He did his master from Oklahoma University. And while he was doing his studies, he was able to cover all his tuition costs. Not only that, when he completed his master, he in fact had some savings in his bank account. So go to YouTube, search for Code Basics, Data Science Masters Guidance. You will find that video. He has given all the information on how he managed to cover all his costs. When I say all costs, not only tuition fees, all his rental, food expenses, everything. He covered everything, and by the time he had a degree, he had some extra saving. So you should go and watch that video. So yeah, Oklahoma State University is one. I'm pretty sure there will be other universities who will be offering scholarships so that you can cover all of your tuition costs. Like, you guys have any thoughts, Jen Smith?
So
Yeah.
Jen
So
can go ahead.
obviously there are a lot of universities who offer scholarships. Especially suppose, like, if we talk about my university, so I am from Syracuse University. They do offer like 30% scholarships to students who have a good profile. And then there are like public universities which have low fees, and if you get scholarships in those as well as on-campus job, there can be a case that you kind of will be doing your masters in free.
Yep. And where is your university, Jay? Which
It's
state?
in New York.
New York. Okay.
Yeah.
And if it is okay, we'll provide LinkedIn profile of both of you in the video description, so that if people want to connect with you and if they have any question, maybe they can reach out. Okay.
Sure.
We'll do that if you feel comfortable later on. Okay, movies lover. All right, there is movies lover here who is asking this question: what degree I need to finish to follow master degree in data science? I think in order to do masters in data science from US, you can pretty much have any degree in India, right? Like, if Smith, I think you are a mechanical engineer, correct?
Yeah.
So Smith was a mechanical engineer. So Smith, okay, let me ask you this question. If a person has done computer science, then he or she comes to US for doing masters in data science, versus person like you who are from different background, what's the difference? Like, when they come, do they have to take more prerequisites?
Yeah, so in like additionally in like if you have to take all the prerequisite, but additionally like you have to do a lot of self work as well. I sort of for 6 months I self-taught myself to how to code. So I learned how to code in Python, SQL, and R all by myself because the classes that I was in didn't help me to learn all those. So those were all the prerequisite that was not the part of the master's course. So if you come to US and do not have any computer science background, then that's the basic that you have to do it. You have to understand the computer science fundamentals or basics, and then you have to like do a lot of practice in coding. So it's not that difficult. For 1 2 months, it will be difficult because it's difficult whenever you are learning any new skill. So for 1 2 months, but after you learn one language, it's really easy to get get used to with another languages. So like for 6 months, it would be difficult, but then you will be almost equivalent to that person who had a computer science background.
And thanks for those words of inspiration and motivation. I would say this: when you are in India and you make up your mind to come to US for masters, you still have few months, correct? Like, you have maybe 3 months, 6 months. During that time period, just work hard and improve your programming skills, coding skills. See, coding is fundamental, whether you are a data scientist or a software engineer. Improve your coding skill. If you are doing masters in data science, then take up some data science courses. There are so many resources out there. My channel itself has courses in like Power BI, Python, pandas, pretty much anything that you want to learn. So do all those studies that way. You have a solid base when you're here. Even when you're here, as Meet said, like he himself did it, like do a lot of self-learning, and that way you will be as good as a computer science student. Okay. Mahesh Patel is asking data science from USA versus UK, which one is recommended? I personally don't have much idea about UK, but if I'm you, Mahesh, I would obviously prefer USA because of obvious reason. There are tons of job opportunities in USA. It remains land of opportunity. People sometimes have concerns on H1B, but look, being a STEM student, you get 3-year OPT. So within 3 years, you will be able to cover all your tuition fees. So H1B system, the whole visa system is a little mess here, I understand, but most of the people I've seen that they end up getting their H1 picked up. You get 3 tries, and in those 3 tries, your H1 will be picked up. And in worst case, let's say, even if it doesn't get picked up, you earn good amount of money within 3 years. You get a lot of good experience working USA based company. When you go back to your country, you will get a good job. So there is nothing to lose. You agree?
Yes, totally.
Okay. And by the way, again, go ahead, Jen Smith, if you guys want to pick up any questions that you find interesting.
Yeah, I think there's this question from Vyom. So it's directly OPT for masters after graduation, or take a break and get a job experience. So that's a great question. So I would say, so if you want, if you want to like take a job experience, you should probably have a job which is like kind of somewhat related to the domain. And again, the job experience should be substantial, like maybe like 2 years or something like that. Like if you are planning to do like 1 year, it might not be worth it. Instead of that, directly come to the US for the masters. And so you've written like directly OPT. So like there's one more thing in between, which is called CPT, which is curricular practical training. So as a part of CPT, so after I don't know about the requirements right now due to COVID, but like during my time, after 1 year of your masters, you are eligible for like about 11 months or 12 months of CPT while you are studying. So basically, you can do internships. You can do you can do internships. Obviously, while you are studying, as well as like in the summer to get experience in the US, which will be more substantial uh, when you're looking for jobs here. So yeah,
Cool.
and
So
then obviously OPT comes after once you graduate, which is yeah.
just to summarize, the difference between CPT and OPT is that CPT is something you do while you're studying, and OPT is something that you're done with your coursework, and you're kind of done with your studies, and then after it starts. Okay. Okay, Krishna Sahu is asking, do writing research papers help? Have you guys seen anyone who has written awesome research papers and it has helped them in terms of admission or scholarship, things like that?
Yes, I think like when you're looking at like top tier research universities or Ivy Leagues, or like top tier research universities, they do obviously look at research papers. But again, so research papers should not be like review papers, which a lot of people do back home. So uh, it should be something like real research. Uh, yeah, and other than that, it also helps while you are finding a job in the US. If you are focusing on a research kind of job, like obviously like uh, if you are aiming for like a data scientist job or a machine learning engineer job, something like that, then if you have done some research regarding machine learning, data science, or application of those in any of the domains that you are applying, then it should be a good thing to have. Other than that, you can come here, work with a professor, and at that time as well, you can publish research papers.
Great. Mrunan Pawar is asking, what prerequisites you suggest you must know so it's helpful to understand the lectures in a better way? So Mrunang, if you have done computer science studies And if you're coming here for masters in data science or whatever, I think you will probably understand all the things that they are saying. But if you're someone like Smith, let's say, who did his studies in mechanical engineer, and let's say he hasn't studied some of the basic concepts, and when you go for master directly, they start talking about some advanced Python, then you'll have difficulty, right? So just having computer science basics, I would say that is good, and having basics of math and statistics is something that will help you. Khan Academy has some good courses on computer science basics if you are a non-CS student. They also have some good courses on math and state. So I would say just do those. Communication is another thing. The teachers here, they will have American accent. So sometimes you have, especially for new students, you have difficulty understanding those. But I think over a period of time, you will adjust and you will learn. So I wouldn't say there are too many prerequisites. Okay, Hoshin Anand is it necessary to have engineering background for masters in data science? Okay, so if there is a person who is, let's say, Bachelor of Arts, like totally non-regular background or pharmacy, can they come for data science masters here?
That's a good question. I don't really know anyone who has come to data science from that different background. But I think if you do projects, data science related projects, then your probability really rises getting the admission. As far as I know, I don't think US universities really have that kind of biases when taking the
Hmm.
students in. So like if you have like if you really want to get into MS in data science, then like working on some projects that makes the university professional believe that you are really passionate about data science, then your probability of getting the admission rises.
Yes, I would like to add to that. So like if you have like a different background, like in terms of like if you're doing like bachelor's in some sciences and stuff like that, that would kind of sometime be a benefit to your profile, because some universities are looking for diverse profiles uh, in the like basically for get like for giving admits to the students. I have a friend who did her masters in physics, MSc in physics, and yeah, she came to the US just now, like recently, to pursue her masters in data science. So yeah, so basically diverse backgrounds do help in some scenarios. Obviously, you'll have to upskill yourself in terms of like programming knowledge and all those skills.
Jay, I was about to give a same kind of incident. I recently interviewed someone who did his master's in physics. He was doing PhD in astrophysics.
Mhm.
Then he got hired as a data scientist in some company. And when he was interviewing, his company was specifically looking for people like who have physics background and math heavy background.
Mhm.
They were actually preferring those candidates over general computer science candidates. So I absolutely agree with you that sometimes having diverse background might work in your favor. I've seen scenarios where there's like a petroleum engineer. I know I'm talking about engineering again, but there are some petroleum companies who prefer petroleum engineers over computer science graduates because they look more for domain knowledge and math and
Mhm.
stats. Because coding is something, see, Python is super easy to learn. Coding is something you're going to learn anyway.
Mhm.
If
Right.
you have diverse background, don't worry, don't feel inferior at all. Job opportunities in US versus India. Well, US, India both are booming. There are tons of job opportunities available, especially after pandemic. I see everyone like having like 5 offers in their plate nowadays. Okay.
So I see there is this one person, Manish, who is tagging me and asking about the co-op program at Northeastern University specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so co-op program at Northeastern is very famous. 90% of the students really gets the co-op. So it's not that the university helps it, but the environment and the curriculum structured is like suited in a way that everyone manages to get a co-op. So yeah.
For those who don't know, Smith, you want to mention what exactly is co-op?
Yeah, so co-op is kind of a different word we use for internships, but it's like a little long. It's like 6 months to 8 months. So a longer version of internship is called co-op, and you can spend a semester like working full time for a company. So that's a co-op.
Okay, Vyom Vora is asking a very good question. Directly, oh, I think directly. Okay, so this question has been answered, right, by you. Okay,
Yes.
we can move on to the next question then. All right, Prince Yadav is asking this question on salary. So what will be the starting salary as a fresher with no experience after doing masters in data science from USA? I know the salaries vary based on company and location, etc. But do you want to talk about general ranges?
Sure. I can talk about the role I am in right now. Uh, so basically, for after like your master's in data science, if you are aiming for programming heavy job or something like a data scientist or a machine learning engineer, obviously the salaries like depends a lot on the location that the company is based out of. But if we like take the average, uh, like as a data scientist or a machine learning engineer, the salary should be topping six figures, around 100K. Like that's average. That can go up to 200K, 300K as well.
Yep. If you're in California,
Yes.
maybe yes, it will go up, and you didn't need to have that kind of salary
Yeah.
because the expense levels are like totally different. Okay,
Yeah.
it's like earning 200K in California is equal to earning 100K in Florida. Literally that.
Yes.
Because I visited my friends in California recently, and I was totally shocked by by when I watched the cost of living in
Yes.
California, and the home prices are literally 10 times, like 10 times, not even two times, literally 10 times. I live in New Jersey. If I have a $500,000 home here in California, it is 5 million. Okay, not 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, literally zero. You have to append zero. So it varies a whole lot. But yeah, after you join your first job, then after it's all upon you, your performance,
Mhm.
your contributions, outside your job, and how ambitious you are, your learning attitude, how good you are in networking, all the soft skills. Sky's the limit. You go to this website called levels.fyi, and
Mhm.
on that website they have salary levels from different companies, and those are kind of accurate, like most of it, 90% of it. There's another website called teamblind.com where people post their salaries. You'll be shocked to look at those salaries, like especially in software engineering field. If you are working for top companies, after 2 to 3 years of experience, making 300 or 400K is pretty normal nowadays.
Mhm.
I've seen people who are like staff engineers, let's say 6 to 7 years experience, they make more than 600K, $600,000 a year or more than that.
Mhm.
That's like post pandemic, that's kind of becoming, that's not even a high range. I see many folks making that kind of awesome money. Okay. Okay. Vedant is asking, he's in a sixth semester of computer science. Is it the right time to study and give GRE in the 6th semester?
Um,
Yes, I actually did that in the 6th semester.
yeah, same with me.
That's
Oh,
actually a
nice.
perfect time to give a GRE.
Nice. Vedant, you are on the right track, buddy. Go ahead. I wish you all the best. Okay. Upload this video live after. Yeah, sure. This live will be available afterwards as well. So you'll be able to watch the entire stream. Don't worry, I'm not gonna remove it. Okay, Varsha Thakur is asking, do universities provide need-based scholarship? What is need-based scholarship, by the way? Do you guys know? Like maybe like do you have special circumstances or something? I don't know, Varsha. Can you elaborate? Can you just clarify your question so that we can answer? Okay, Pranay Garimela is asking Smith, when did you start with data analytics after bachelor's? Can we know more about your profile? So Smith, look like people are interested in knowing more about you. So let's talk about your journey a little bit. You were a mechanical engineer. What got you interested? How did you prepare? You now have a job. So how do you feel now?
So it was really a bumpy journey. My interests were changing a lot during the whole journey. So when I was in like 6th, 7th semester, I wanted to like come to US for further studies. But as I was mechanical engineer, and during that time, I had no idea about data analytics or data science. So in order to get my foot into the masters in USA, I like applied for masters in engineering management. So that's like a bridging course between engineering and management kind of courses. So I got admitted into this course, and then when I came to US for first 3 4 months, I started to do all the research. I talked with the people. I saw what was going on in the industry, and then the data science concept of data science was like introduced in front of me, and I was really inclined towards it. But then it was like I don't know anything about data. I don't know how to code. I don't know any SQL, Python, nothing, not even machine learning, nothing. So but still it was so interesting to me, so I decided to like change my whole master's course from engineering management to data analytics. And it was pretty much smooth because university had this all flexibility of people changing their courses. It's pretty common here. So I applied for it and I was accepted into data analytics course. And I still remember my first class of database design and management. For 3 hours, I had no idea what the professor was saying, but that really, like increased my curiosity, increased my hunger to learn more about it. And then I actually spent a lot of time outside the classes. I really like refer to all free YouTube videos. All I also like bought many online courses in order to learn about database, learn more about SQL, Python, machine learning. I still know for the whole summer vacation, that's like 4 months in US. I literally, studied machine learning A to Z, everything. And then that's what gave me the confidence. And after that, I again my interest changed. I got into product management. I did my internship in product management. I did my first job in product analytics. So even that was the same thing. I have no idea about product management. So again, did a lot of study outside the curriculum and stuff, and then finally got the job. So in the end, it's all worth it. Staying all those nights, working more than your peers, it's all worth it. So I always have this positive outlook, and I always, like motivate or tell people to like follow what you like, even if you have to work a lot. So it will be worth it in the end. So that's what my advice is for everyone out there. So like don't just put doubts on yourself. You will be able to do everything you want to do.
Awesome, Smith. Thanks for those encouraging words. Do you want to talk about your job a little bit? Like, do you work as a data analyst, or like what do you do right now?
So right now I work as data analyst. So yeah, but before this I was working as a product analyst. So my
Mhm.
main job was to help all the product managers at the company to understand how the users are using the product. So for that, I was building data pipelines. I was automating lots of backend things. I was also working collaboratively with data engineers and doing a little bit of software engineering. And I was also collaborating with product manager in order to come up with new features and such stuff. But extensively I was using Python and SQL to build product dashboards which used to give product insights, and that used to help all the product managers to make data driven decisions at the company.
Awesome. Preetham Reddy is asking, how is MS in data science at Stephen Institute of Technology and Rochester Institute of Technology? Do you guys have any idea about these two universities?
Yeah, I have idea, but do not know much about how their course works are. So yeah, what you can do is reach out to someone. Just go to LinkedIn, type Stephen Institute students there, and you will be able to find a lot of people. And then just my advice would be simple. Do not just send a plain LinkedIn request. Just add a little personalized message there. So you will get into that person will definitely accept it, and then you can start asking the questions to them.
I have many friends from Stevens, by the way. They are all computer science students. I don't know anyone who has done data science studies, but Steven in general is a very good university. If you know this YouTuber, Marcus Brownie, MHKBD, a famous YouTuber who does the product reviews, he's from Stevens. It's a pretty good university. In fact, some of my friends right now, I'm like close friends, they are from Stevens. So very good universities. It being in East Coast gives you a lot of benefit, because then you build all these connections and the campus interviews, the whole ecosystem is overall pretty good. But I don't know much about the specific data science course, so that's something you have to kind of figure it out yourself. Okay, so many questions piling up. Right, let me take, okay, again, one more question for you, Smith Doshi. I have heard that most of the students at NEU for get a co-op is okay. I think co-op question you already answered. All right. Okay, so we can move on to the next one. I'm a third year student. I have knowledge on data science with BTech degree. Is it valid to apply for data science with BTech degree? We already answered that. US universities do not have any biases. Doesn't matter what your past background is. You can still get an admission. Rahul Alladi is asking, do you recommend any free resources for GRE and IELTS and SOPs? How do you guys prepare, first of all, Jay and Smith, for GRE and IELTS and SOPs?
Uh, I actually again did everything by myself, GRE as well. So I think for people who are in engineering, the mathematics is not that tough, but English might be tough, which was the case for me. So I actually I used to practice for 45 minutes to 1 hour, and I had all the words, their meanings and synonyms uh, pasted on my wall. So there is one wall. There was in my room. There was one wall which was plain. That was nothing on that wall. I actually took the printout of all the words, all their meanings and synonyms on, and stick to that wall, and consistently, refer to it. So that increased my vocabulary. And GRE, I actually did it at my home, so I don't know how other people or how tuition classes or academies teach it. I had all the books printed out. There was a senior friend of mine who gave me all his books. So I just referred to that books and just did it. So I think Jai might be a good person to answer this question.
Yes. So yeah, well, preparing, I did went to GRE classes. Obviously, not of much help, but but yeah. So there are a couple of as Smith said, like maths should not be a big issue if you have a math background or engineering background or any science background. So for verbal, there are a couple of free resources. I used to use Magoosh
Mongoose, yeah.
app on my phone, which has like a card kind of structure of making you learn new words, which was really helpful. So yeah, there's this, and then there are a couple of like if you saw, there are like couple of books as well which you can find for verbal especially. So
Yeah, and apart
Ver-
from that, yeah, I remember myself giving all the timed tests. So I used to like for every single day, I used to set a timer and then give all the tests. So that really prepares you to like get things done or like complete all the answers in the exam. So that's one of the thing I remember. It's a long time ago, GRE thing.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's really helpful. Like whatever you are doing, just like uh, prepare, like make an environment which is exactly replicates the exam environment, and that
Hmm.
will really help you to like, perform well in the exam.
yeah. There are like all these coaching companies. They have like one or two free time tests which you could use. So probably like if you use from all of them, so should be a good practice.
Then, yeah, cool. That is very cost savvy Indian mindset. And by the way, Smith, you sticking those printouts on the wall reminds me of this movie of John Nash, The Beautiful Mind. You guys have seen that movie?
Yes. Yep.
So John Nash, who is a Princeton University professor, math genius, he would write all this math equation on his wall, on glass windows, everywhere. He would create that environment, so that when sitting, maybe I should have all the Python code, everything in my room. I started with that data sticker, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's a very useful tip, in my opinion. If you create that kind of environment, it just constantly reminds you and just helps you, and you just get better day by day.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I just think that if you want to remember something, like you should look at it, more often. So that's why I stick all of those words on my wall.
For verbal, one tip I discuss with people is you record yourself and then you listen to yourself. Let's say you just assume you are appearing for an interview, and one of the common question is, okay, talk about yourself or talk about projects. So now just assume that you are in that interview setting and you are talking about yourself or talking about your projects, and then you record yourself on the phone. Then you listen to that recording. Now you see, okay, how many filler words you are using. Are you using correct grammar or not? You can also talk to your friend and they can provide a critical feedback. For me, when I started my YouTube channel, when I would hear my own recording, I would get a lot of feedback. I'm like, man, I'm like so bad. I'm so slow, like less energy, so many filler words, grammatical mistakes. Then I would correct myself. Then I would re record again. See, that's how I personally improved my English. So you can do that. Maybe you start your YouTube channel or a podcast. Just talk about anything. Talk about movies, talk about cricket. But you want to be in a position where you are a speaker and there are a bunch of people judging you, and take all that feedback in a very constructive, positive way. Especially for Indian people, the accents. For example, myself, After staying in US for like 5-7 years, I would still call zero zero. Zero is like in Gujarat, a part of India, right? Like we say zero. And when I said that in one of my videos, and a bunch of people just started criticizing, like they started making fun of me. Okay, another incident happened. If you look at my, by the way, Jupyter Notebook tutorial, it's one of the very popular videos actually. And the way I say notebook is not book, like not book. So see, these are the common problems that we face when it comes to verbal communication. And the only way you will figure these things out is you start putting yourself in that situation where you're speaking and there are a bunch of people making judgments on you. All right. Om Sai is saying his profile is good. He got 96 in TOEFL, but the university is asking for 100. Is it good to apply for the university?
What is the university?
Om Sai, it will help if you just specify the name of the university. But what is the usual score, guys? I'm forgetting. So 96 in TOEFL and they are asking for 100. Is 100 the high score?
Yeah, I think it's of 120. Yeah. So
Okay.
sometimes, like, I'm not sure, but sometimes, like, when universities have put on a cutoff for TOEFL, they usually consider it like as to filter out applications.
I think it's a good sign. The university has liked rest of the profile for their student, but they just want that, you know, just give us a score which is above the cutoff.
Next question is from the Mallu Data. Nice. I like your name, YouTube username, the Mallu Data. Yes, 2 years of experience in data science in banking industry. How can I get job abroad without doing master there? All right. Coming to US on a job directly without master is extremely hard. But I'm not saying it's impossible. I know one person who has a very good rank in Kaggle. He's in India and he got a job offer directly from some company based in San Francisco. But those are exceptional cases. One way that you have is you take a job in some multinational company, let's say work in an office in India, and then I see a lot of people, they inter-office, transfer, they do the transfer and they come to US. Your question is not specifically on US. You are saying, how can I get job abroad, which means pretty much like different foreign countries in Europe, Singapore even. I know that there are some companies in Singapore and Indonesia who come for recruitment in India. They have this recruitment fairs in big cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, and they directly hire people from there. So if you're interested in going to Singapore, Indonesia, and various other countries, watch out for those kind of jobs. In LinkedIn jobs, you will find all these jobs, like you can just say, okay, data scientist, Singapore, just search based on that location and you will find those job opportunities. But as far as US is concerned, directly coming here, if you don't have anything exceptional in your profile, is going to be hard. DR Patel is asking, I'm from DDU Nadiad. What a coincidence. I'm also DR Patel, Dhawal Rambai Patel, and I'm also from DDU Nadiad. Nice to see you, DR Patel. You can post your question, by the way. Okay. Hey friends, please do not spam. I see multiple questions being posted by same person, same question. So do not spam. If you post your question multiple times, we are not going to answer your question.
So I see this question from Apurva. Undergraduate EXTC student can come for masters in data science. So I have a good friend who did his bachelor's in EXTC, and he was in the same batch as me. Yeah, and he's doing pretty good. He's working as a data engineer. So yeah, again,
Anything is
background.
possible.
Yes.
I am going to upload a video uh, of my interview with. I actually interviewed a data engineer from Airbnb. He
Mhm.
was with Facebook and Netflix before. And what he told me in our conversation is he knows many people in these big companies. You know, we are talking about Facebook, Netflix, and Airbnb, top companies. Many people who have physics degree in psychology even. So this whole notion of, okay, you need to have computer science degree in order to become a programmer or a data scientist, that is going away. You see
Right.
so many people from diverse background. I interviewed a person who was a lawyer for 12 years. At the age of 38, he learns coding. And within 2 years, now he's a software engineer at Google. So just think about it. Until 38 of 8, you are a lawyer, like a hardcore corporate lawyer. You have no idea about computer science. And now you go into this and become a software engineer at Google. Isn't that amazing? So Google is not judging you that, okay, this person has been lawyer for so long. You know, they look at your passion, how much effort you're putting into something, and then some raw skills, like you have good raw analytical skills, you know, like some soft skills. Nowadays, becoming computer engineer and data scientist is not about technical skills. You know, you need a lot of soft skills. And if you are a lawyer or something else, I mean, you would have those soft skills. So it's not like you're starting from everything again. You already have built some base that you can just make some disciplined transition. You can do it. So Vish L is asking, I'm a mechanical engineer with 11 years of experience in Tata Motors automotive field. Should I think about data science course? Wish, of course. I see so many mechanical engineers moving to data science field, so many of them. What you can do is you find an interesting problem in your domain. You know, in automotive and mechanical engineering domain, there are so many cool problems that can be solved using data science. So now you have all this domain knowledge. You know about the problems that you face in your industry. Just try to solve those using data science. That will be a very good way to transition. And I have interviewed at least 4 or 5 mechanical engineers so far who have made this transition, and they're extremely successful.
Yeah, so to add on top of that, there is this thing called operation research, and they heavily use a lot of data and algorithms. So they really need people who have this mechanical engineering or operation research experience or background. So all you have to do is learn more about this algorithms and data science a little bit, so you can apply all those to operation research and solve a problem at a company.
Awesome. All right, we are almost at 1 hour here. I would let you guys pick 1 or 2 questions. So go ahead, pick maybe 1 or 2 questions, and then we are going to end this session today. Okay, let me take this question because this is something I get very often. Pranay is asking, for a person with no more programming background, would you suggest going with masters in computer science, in more electives in data science, or directly MS in data science? Now, there are pros and cons. If you do masters in computer science with, let's say, focus on data science, your job opportunities are much more like wide open, because now you don't have to just target data analyst or data scientist role. You can become mobile app developer, software developer. So doing masters in computer science generally opens more like broader range of job opportunities for you. But if you're in masters in data science, then you can become data analyst or data scientist, or sometimes data engineer as well. But then, you have focus in that area. There are less job opportunities, but then there will be less uh, graduates who have data science degree compared to graduates who have computer science degree. So there are like kind of pros and cons. But I would, since you don't have any background, I would suggest that masters in computer science with electives on data science is probably better compared to the other option. Okay, Yoga Maheshwaran is asking, do you guys have any tips for the PPL who are up for their visa interview for their masters? So any tips on the visa interviews, folks?
Like, just be confident. The visa officers are very friendly, but they are obviously going to ask you questions. So like, don't be intimidated. So don't be like, afraid or scared by those questions. Just talk like they are your friends.
Yep, so be confident. That's the short answer.
Sometimes if they're
Okay.
in good mood, then they'll just ask what university you are going, and then approved.
All right, so go to the interview when they're in good mood. Okay, if you don't have any other question that you want to pick up, then I think we can end it. Is it good folks, right? We are at 1 hour already. We answered so many questions. I know there is a pile of questions that we didn't touch, but we are hoping that we could do this kind of session again in the future. And whoever is preparing for their masters, thank you very much. And once again, thanks Meet and Jay, especially on a weekend you spend this time answering people's questions. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dhaval, for having us.
Yep. Thank you, Zawal.
Right, I'm gonna end the stream now.